Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. Very big thank you to everyone who went to the live video, the live stream that I did about a day or two ago. It was very fun. I promise I will be doing more of them. I'm gonna try and do at least one a week. That's the general goal. And yeah, let's jump right into it. It goes without saying, what is it about weekends? Why do weekends always create very weird, crazy things in the cryptocurrency space? The person who wrote this article, I don't know if they know the difference between million and billion. Not a joke. They keep writing million over and over about the actual stuff that happened. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says crypto market in flux. Wow, that's dramatic. ETH and Pepe contribute to a $50 billion with a B liquidation. Shorts position suffer. The crypto market was awash with fear and uncertainty as liquidations reached over $50 billion, leaving investors reeling and short positions crushed under losses. And then they have a photo of people on an iceberg, a futuristic iceberg, and they all look little bit troubled. The 7th of May witnessed a dramatic event in the crypto market as over $50 billion worth of investments got liquidated. Ethereum took the lead in this wave of liquidations. However, hot on the heels was a meme coin that's been capturing the attention of enthusiasts worldwide. I wouldn't go that far. Everyone has just simply been talking about it. According to the latest data from CoinGlass, the crypto market experienced an extraordinary 24-hour liquidation surpassing $50 billion at the time of writing. The liquidated amount stood at approximately $52 billion, having previously surged past $100 billion. How do you get million and billion wrong? Like, I literally don't understand how you can continue writing that over and over. The news is, the cryptocurrency market is down. Surprise for those of you who didn't get from all the stuff that we were just going over. And then when I tell you why it's down, it's going to be another eye roll moment. Your eyes will roll in your head as you realize once again this is just absolute complete nonsense. So something happened and everyone literally panicked over it, and of course the hyper spread of misinformation, as it normally is on the internet, became so rampant that I think a lot of people had and still have no idea what actually took place. So one of the larger news stories that began floating around was that Binance had actually stopped people from using Bitcoin. That was the initial news that I saw. And everyone was like, yeah, Bitcoin's down. No one can use Bitcoin. And I was like, that's not how it works. If you dig a bit further, the news then became that Binance had stopped people from taking Bitcoin from off of the Binance platform. People were like, you can't do that. It's Bitcoin's decentralized. And I floated once again over the conversations on the interwebs, because you have to understand that one, and I mean the only one, Binance is a centralized exchange. They can do as they please. It is their company. You gave your money to them. That is the risk that you take with a centralized exchange. And this is why I always say, if you are legally able to, in your country, self-custody your coins, now might be the time to get to that, because a lot of people began to panic and wonder why Binance was stopping them from taking their money off of the cryptocurrency exchange. The news apparently is, there are I think 4 or 5 different versions of the news. The news apparently is, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin network overwhelmed by 390,000, that is 390,000, unconfirmed transactions and surging fees. The news apparently actually is Bitcoin's network became congested, overwhelmed. Far too many people were using it. There were far too many transactions at one time. You should all know this. Many of the newer coins on the block tend to have at least 500 to around 1,000 transactions per second on their blockchain. There's a new thing where people are saying you can have batched transactions, and a whole bunch of transactions can be in one transaction, and therefore you can't count transactions per second The way that things normally used to work before everyone was trying to show how magical their blockchain was is that you could only produce a certain amount of transactions per second. The generalized number, the more decentralized you actually are, tends to fluctuate between 500 and 1,000. When you get to a lot more than that, you find out that there aren't as many nodes, and the blockchain and or database is actually far more centralized than the company is currently letting on. Bringing it back, Bitcoin only does 3 transactions per second. I believe that if you really push it and max it out, I think it's gotten to 5 or 6 transactions before, but on a normal average day, it will only hit 3 transactions per second. So as you might have imagined, 390,000 unconfirmed transactions for 3 transactions per second is not a lot. It's not going to be doing a whole bunch. As that all began to take place, the news was that Binance had actually halted with withdrawals on their current Binance website network to try and ease congestion, try and find a way for fees to actually go down so that people could take their money off of Binance with a lower fee. This is kind of the general idea. I was looking around. I don't know if it has it around here. Yeah, it does. It says the surge in unconfirmed transactions resulted in a staggering 343% increase in transaction fees, which have risen from $1.99 per transaction on the 26th of April to around $8.82 per transaction. And it says people who are mining Bitcoin were struggling to keep up with demand, of course, because it's going through all of their systems. I saw a lot of people talking about this is the worst thing since 2017. For those of you who weren't here, that was worse. Now, and I don't get why people are... No. I get it. I was going to say I don't know why people are panicked, but it was because other people in the last day have been lied to online. And once again, we're also going to get to that. In 2017, Bitcoin's transaction fees got up to around, I think, $28 to $32. I paid a $28 transaction fee because I had to move my money from one place to another. Like, that was actually bad. It is not that paying a $1.99 transaction fee isn't already bad. Most blockchains have a 1 cent fee. Or paying $8.82 is also, that should not be happening. But you have to understand, it's the oldest blockchain. It's the slowest moving one. They're never going to update the actual core. That's just the way that things currently are. So as this news began to spread that Binance wasn't allowing people to take their money off of the platform, Binance was doing this, so many unconfirmed transactions, who's doing this to the Bitcoin network? Bitcoin's price began to slide, fall down a tiny bit. And every other coin, for some reason, began to completely collapse as if this was like the worst thing in the entire world and we had never seen anything like this ever. It says Binance suspends Bitcoin withdrawals twice within a 12-hour period. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So people also forget that while Binance is a centralized exchange and people want to put like the devil's horns on them, they stand to lose a lot of money as well, with them not allowing people to take money off of their platform. It causes people to begin to panic. Why can't I take my money off of this centralized exchange that I randomly decided to trust over a couple of months ago? Or people begin to think that something is wrong with Binance or something is wrong with liquidity, because I saw people talking about that as well, because people have nothing better to do with their times instead of trying to cause some type of panic to flow within the cryptocurrency market. Usually, historically, whenever a cryptocurrency exchange tells people that they can't take their money off of a cryptocurrency exchange, people begin to believe that it has something to do with the exchange's liquidity. They're trying to do a rug pull. They're trying to do all this other stuff, and people just have no idea what they're actually talking about. Binance has been very transparent. They are, especially with Changpeng Tao, they make sure the moment that something happens, they release constant information on Twitter to stop people from panicking, because people don't ever look any further and they simply hear that other people are panicking. They begin to panic. They tell someone else to panic. And that's just how things end up moving. When I told you, this has multiple layers to all of it. For those not looking at the screen, it said, did whales withdraw 160,000 Bitcoin worth $4.5 billion from Binance? Will Bitcoin's bull run remain a fantasy? Whoever you are, get a new job. That's not me being mean. Don't write articles like that, because all it does is just simply terrify people and make people question reality. The news apparently also is, when it came to the high transaction fees, I'm reading that this is because of Bitcoin's BRC20 tokens, Bitcoin's NFTs. Apparently, I don't have the information here because who cares? The amount of NFTs in the last, I think, week and a half has surged by around 300%. People are loving making NFTs on top of Bitcoin. They're called ordinals, and they are, what are they? I don't know what the word is. They are created and whatever. They're on the Bitcoin network. And apparently, that has caused transaction fees to go up as they are directly on chain. Apparently, there was a huge amount of coins that were being moved off of cryptocurrency exchanges. Now, for those of you who are a little bit perplexed, if you've been here for a year, and I saw a lot of people who are like, they've been here since 2017. That's hello. We've been through all the mud together, if you will. Normally, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, when you hear that people have taken off an egregious amount of any coin from off of an exchange, what tends to happen? I heard someone say price goes up. That's it. When you, because it's verse and inverse. The idea is if people are putting their Bitcoin onto a cryptocurrency exchange, the general idea is that they're planning on selling. If someone deposits 160,000 Bitcoin onto Binance, this usually means they may be planning to sell the 160,000 Bitcoin. It's usually not. It's usually a form of market manipulation, where you get other people to begin to believe that this wealthy person knows something that you don't. People begin to sell off their coins, and it's always the same. The whales usually end up buying up all the coins that were sold after they deposited those coins. Very nefarious, but that's how the cryptocurrency market works. The other portion is if someone takes off 160,000 of anything, or in this case of Bitcoin, typically the price would rise because people go, well, that billionaire isn't planning on selling their coins anytime soon. Therefore, something bullish is happening that I don't know about. Other people began to buy up the coin. The price began to fall because people were like, oh my gosh, this means something terrible. What do the whales know? So part of the other news is that people began to say, and I know I told you were going to roll your eyes. People began to sell off their Bitcoin after the massive withdrawal from Binance because people thought that something bad was happening with the market. And I assume that this is just no, the word's not resounding. This is a clear indication to all of us that a lot of people who are in the market are brand new. So hello and welcome to all of you. I hope that I help you at some point throughout the way to let you understand that put it this way, a lot of other people out there, especially on YouTube, are just trying to terrify you and make you think that you have to sell your coins or buy crappy other coins at a moment's notice because they're telling you to do so. After light investigation, it appears that Binance was actually moving around a whole bunch of coins from internal wallets to external wallets at the same time as other people and other whales will also moving their coins off of the platform. Right, so that was also completely unfounded as well. The other thing, the other layer to this disgusting cake, it says Bitcoin is not under attack. It says BTC maxis allay fears of a DDoS attack. This has almost nearly nothing to do with Bitcoin maximalists. It has to do with just generalized logic. If Bitcoin was actually under attack, we would be seeing, hear me out here, we'd be near right now an $18,000 Bitcoin. You think I said that incorrectly? No. If Bitcoin was actually under attack, if there had been an actual issue, a lot of people don't know how deep this actually goes. When I tell you the amount of money that's really in this market and how many people are actually here and know things that we would never, ever know or have no idea about, there's billions of dollars sloshing through this market all the time. The big players know exactly what's going on before it even hits the actual news and media. If something wrong had happened with Bitcoin, we would be like, why is Bitcoin down by 48%? It's because the billionaires have sold. They knew exactly what was happening, and they're waiting for, the gigantic crash. More than likely, what ended up happening is that there were a large number of transactions. Cool, got it. Historically, what we've seen for many different chains, I wouldn't say that this is not an attack on Bitcoin. It was probably some form of a stress test. For those of you who don't know what that is in the cryptocurrency space, there have been many coins and many chains over the years, and Bitcoin has not been immune to this either, where over the course of it's been more of a thing in the last 8 or 9 years, roughly around that time frame. Historically, if someone doesn't like a chain or they're trying to prove that a chain is garbage or can't be used, they'll begin to spam the network with smaller transactions. We saw this before with Bcash, with Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's Vision. We've seen it with Cardano a couple of times. We've seen it before with XRP. We've seen it with Lumens. We've seen it with, I think, Cardano. The newer chains, once again, they will slow down, but they are able to handle this large amount of transactions. Bitcoin, however, is not. One of the ways to do this is to waste a lot of your money, like literally, if you're sending a transaction that costs $7, $8, $9, $10 per transaction, you need to send a large amount of them. And what kind of transaction do you send? You send a 1 cent or lower transaction. Typically, if you are sending $25,000 worth of Bitcoin and your transaction fee is $8, you won't bat an eye. I'm making $25,000. I don't care about the $8 transaction that is currently taking place. If you're sending it in 1 cent transactions, you will sometimes maybe care about the $8 that you're going to be paying. You can program a bot to do this. It is a waste of money for you, but people out there like to do it. One of the more likely things is that on top of all the transactions that have been normally happening, all of the hype, everyone getting back into Bitcoin, everyone buying us Satoshis and Bamboshis and all these other things, is that someone probably executed a large amount of mini transactions on the Bitcoin network to try and slow it down, which it actually did. There's 2 reasons to do this. One is to actually maliciously impact the network and slow it down to the point where it stops, and therefore showing that Bitcoin, simply can't handle it. Everyone has to move to another chain. But this is also, people don't understand that Bitcoin is the market, and if Bitcoin collapses, everything else does. But this is also, that's another conversation as well. The other part is, once again, you just send tons of mini transactions. This could have been done by anyone. Usually, historically, I have always believed that people with very deep pockets would do this in order to be able to say, hey, I am worth $45 billion. I plan on putting $500 million into Bitcoin. Does it work? Show me that it works. Stress test the living heck out of it. You get the idea. They put a whole bunch of money into it, make sure that their investment is sound, and that's how it works. So I saw a lot of people talking about that Bitcoin maximalists were scared, and they were talking about that they're trying to cover up a DDoS attack. You don't understand how much money is in this market. This isn't a people with $1.2 million market. This isn't a I have $10,000 in my bank account market. I told you this all before. Rich people control and rule this market, the same as every other market. People let them get control of this one as well. If something was wrong, inherently wrong, we would hear about it immediately. There is no, we would know from the prices that all these people had pulled out of the market. So as it stands right now, nothing is wrong with Bitcoin. It's slow. It's the oldest blockchain. It has 3 transactions per second. We cannot and nothing will be done about that. And I know someone just said why. I'm going to get into it in a couple of seconds. And also, it might have been something similar to a DDoS attack or similarly a spam transaction attack or simply an event or simply it was just people moving around coins. So it was one of those things. That's what happened, and everyone began to panic and sell off a lot of their coins. It says Binance resumes Bitcoin withdrawals after a second pause. Says they're adjusting fees and integrating the Lightning Network. Binance has officially announced, or Changpeng Zhao has announced, that they are going to be finally integrating the Lightning Network onto their platform. Who knows if this was all one gigantic ploy for them to do this the entire time? I doubt it. I think they have so many other things that they actually would like to actually do and take care of. The Lightning Network is, as it stands right now, and has been for the past 5 or 6 years, at least the theory is, that is going to be what we are going to be using in order to actually use Bitcoin in the future. A lot of other cryptocurrency exchanges have begun to use the Lightning Network as one of their main ways for you to put Bitcoin on and off the actual chain or network or whatever word you kind of want to throw inside there. As Binance is the largest cryptocurrency exchange on the planet, this news in general should have risen, should have dragged up Bitcoin's price quite significantly, knowing that the biggest crypto exchange on the planet is going to allow people to send Bitcoin instantaneously and for a fee of less than 1 cent. But alas, this is where we always are. Something good happens and everyone else panics. Something normal happens and people also panic. Yes, Bitcoin is slow. It's always congested. This is more congested-er than it usually is. And people still panic because they just, I don't know. So anyway, you've been lied to over the weekend, and I'm sure a lot of you got the wrong information. That's actually what happened, what took place. Nothing's wrong. Bitcoin is currently, at the time of me making this video, only down by, I think, 1%. Yeah, see, it's not as crazy as people were making it out to be. But the other coins collapsed after Bitcoin also fell down as well. It says Pepe coin suddenly drops and leaves a whale with $500,000 less than they previously had before. There are a lot of news articles going around, not only about coins dropping in price, but also the illustrious Pepe coin falling down in price as well. For those of you not looking at the screen, there's a photo of a woman walking down a mountain that is quite jagged, and she is wearing high heels because that's all that women can wear in the year 2023 in a photo. Yeah, so the cryptocurrency market fell. The meme coins also fell. The coin that came out of nowhere 4 weeks ago fell the largest, and a lot of people were quite surprised about that. There were a lot of news stories floating around. We went over this in the live video as well. There are a lot of people talking about how they became Pepe coin millionaires and stuff like that. I sincerely hope that they took some profits. I know that they didn't, because it's the same exact thing with Terra Luna. I remember there was you remember, right? There how many people were bragging on YouTube that who was that one guy? He made like $5 million and he was like, I'm waiting for it to go to 50 before I sell anything. And I was like, look at how that turned out. So yeah, Pepe coin also dropped. I don't know, sure, why not? It says Stellar Lumen's price drops below 10 cents as bears take control. Bears have always had control over that coin. No one uses Stellar Lumens. Like it is a non-factor in the cryptocurrency market. I'm shocked that they even made it into the cryptocurrency price news. That's also quite significant for them, I guess. Dogecoin price prediction. Doge hits bearish circuit and could drop to 7 cents. I mean, Dogecoin could drop to 1 cent. Dogecoin could go to $45 tomorrow. As you know, that one's far less likely, but there's a possibility. There's some universe out there where you're going to wake up tomorrow and Dogecoin is $45. You're going to be like, why didn't I buy all the Doge? So yeah, cryptocurrency prices, of course, going down. Usually there's a very generalized tie-in to all of this stuff. It says stock futures are flat to start the week. U.S. stock futures were flat on Monday morning as investors looked ahead to a key inflation data release later on this week. I wish it would end. I'm so tired of talking about inflation. I'm so tired of talking about interest rates, that the stock market has to do something before the cryptocurrency market does something. It is one of the most nonsensical things that we have to deal with on nearly a daily basis, 5 days out of the week. It always makes a large portion of the news. When I first woke up and I saw that the cryptocurrency market had actually fallen down, I assumed that stocks were down. Stocks had fallen by 3, 4, 5, 6%, and therefore the wider markets around the world were also buckling as well. So for those of you who missed it last week, we are currently at the point where the Fed changed their wording on them raising interest rates. They usually say a sentence, people overanalyze it, and they say, well, they usually mean this, and it looks like the wording had changed over the last 10 rate increases, and it appears that the next rate increase might not happen at all. This may have been the last one. However, we are still waiting for inflation data and job market reports to see if this would solidify that the Fed is looking to stop raising interest rates, i.e., are there more people who are filing for unemployment? Are there more people? Has unemployment fallen? Have people found jobs? Has the cost of orange juice and milk in the supermarket fallen by 1% comparatively previous to the last month when we last had this data? This is the kind of stuff that people are always looking for. If the data comes back positive, that the stock market goes up, the cryptocurrency market then also subsequently goes up, and that's just how things start. So I assume we have to wait a day or two more. I don't know when this inflation data is supposed to be released, but that's also something. There's also, it also says it right here as well, and I'm surprised that there's not more of it. Warren Buffett was also recently, I saw a couple of videos talking about that he might be ousted as the CEO and or head of Berkshire Hathaway. I don't know how that rumor got started. He is like 133, so I get a little bit of it. Maybe he's saying weird things in the office and everyone's looking at him like, oh gosh, it's time to retire. But as it stands right now, I'm pretty sure he'll be just fine. People were talking about a contagion as well in the markets if he actually was no longer CEO. And it's just always so much actually going on. Ironically enough, or comically enough, stock markets elsewhere around the world are currently going up. The Indian stock market is currently moving up. I haven't checked the markets for Europe, but I assume they're also lightly in the green as well. Yeah, that's all the price news, why prices are down, what's wrong with Bitcoin, what's happening with Bitcoin, why is the cryptocurrency market looking so insane right now news. And yeah, geez Louise, let's move on. In one of the more popular news stories that was also floating around, New York State Attorney General, and someone told me before that I got her, I pronounced her name incorrectly. I said Letitia. It is Letitia James, has proposed a landmark crypto legislation that claims to be the strongest and most comprehensive set of regulations on cryptocurrencies in the United States. They said rampant fraud and dysfunction have become the hallmarks of cryptocurrency, and it is time to bring law and order to a multi-billion-dollar industry. This was said by Attorney General James. A lot of people were shooketh and terrified and gleeful and wondering if this was the answer that they've been looking for. Within the United States of America, there is no proper cryptocurrency regulation. We've gone over that at least 78,000 bajillion times at this point. One of the things that always was a question mark to me was how New York stood as the financial global capital of the universe, and yet they still had no cryptocurrency regulations. We've seen many a time, if you say that you haven't been here long enough, that scams and other things are actually quite rampant in the cryptocurrency space. They tend to not be as much with properly decentralized coins, but many other coins that do pop up tend to a lot of times actually be scams. And I tried to tell people over and over and over, despite what actually may end up happening. So Letitia James came forward and said that she wants proper cryptocurrency regulation. So you can understand, on one side, you have people who don't want any cryptocurrency regulation. And then on the other side, there are people who are like, cool, do it. Let's have proper cryptocurrency regulation so that we don't have to deal with the US SEC anymore. There's proper guidelines for everything, and the entire cryptocurrency market can move on. As far as I am understanding, this appears that this would just blanket New York. But I'm not there. I wasn't in the room during the conversation. The New York State Attorney General office announced on Friday that Attorney General Letitia James has proposed landmark legislation to tighten regulations on the cryptocurrency industry to protect investors, consumers, and the broader economy, the announcement stated, and I do quote, Attorney General James's proposed bill, which proposes the strongest and most comprehensive set of regulations on cryptocurrency in the nation, would increase transparency, eliminate conflict of interest, and impose common sense measures to protect investors consistent with regulations imposed on other financial sectors, end quote. I'll work backwards. The idea is that the cryptocurrency market would basically fall under the same rules as the banking sector, i.e., anti-money laundering, know your customer. If you join a cryptocurrency exchange, you have to show your ID. You have to show who you are. That's the general idea. The idea of common sense measures is that, hey, you have to sign up with this company if your coin looks like this, or you have to make sure that if you are offering a coin or offering an ICO or an STO to the cryptocurrency space or people within New York State, we have to know what it is. That's what they're basically asking for. Here's a good one. The eliminate conflicts of interest. I actually looked around for that one, and apparently it has to do with they want to make sure that if some acquisition is going to be taking place, or if a coin has moved, or if something else has happened within the market, that some other player isn't going to benefit from it, i.e., this coin's collapsing, that company's collapsing, this is so and so and so. Is there someone on the other side who's trying to actually purchase said company and or contract and or coin because they now see that they'll be able to make money from the actual destruction of the other project? Is actually lightly interesting, and I'm pretty sure it goes a lot deeper than we could even understand. Transparency has to do with anti-money laundering, know your customer, anything that has to do with the US dollar and or money moving around. Countries want to know about it. So is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. And I say this lightly in a very polite way. I also don't care. I've been in the cryptocurrency space for so long that I've heard so many people propose things like this. Remember a couple of days ago we had, what was it, Kentucky or Texas? People put forth these proposals and I think they sound great. I would actually love a light bit of regulation so that we didn't have the situation where tons of people were asking me, should they be getting into these crappy scam coins? Because you know the answer. If you have to ask, you know it's absolute garbage. Or people, and I'm tired of hearing stories of people losing money. I don't want people losing $108,000, $15,000, $500,000 because X, Y, and Z ended up happening within the cryptocurrency space because they had no transparency or didn't know where to put their coins, or had your coins on a terrible cryptocurrency exchange. So there does need to be something there that kind of like leads people. If you want to get into crypto, here's how to do it safely. That kind of thing. I hope this isn't heavy-handed. Do I think any of it is actually going to pass or make it through anything? No. No, absolutely not, because we would have already had these rules. I'm not in the States, but there would have already been rules for all of these things for people within the States to be like, okay, we have actual cryptocurrency regulation now. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's just been such a long journey that I don't believe any time that anyone is actually putting forth any kind of proposal to help other people anymore. Maybe that's it. Because the SEC should have done all of that a while ago, and yet here we are. So yeah, that was also very popular news. Once again, there's two sides of that coin. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people are like, finally, just do something, because I think that would actually propel New York in a sense that people would be willing to do more business there as opposed to other places. But yeah, that's the Letitia James news. Look at me evolving. And yeah, let's move on. Also in very, very popular news, like geez Louise, LimeWire, that is Lime, and then the word wire, the once controversial peer-to-peer file sharing platform turned content creator hub. I didn't know that. I didn't even know they were back. I had a conversation. Oh my, it's so crazy. I had a conversation yesterday with somebody about MySpace. MySpace is apparently still a thing. Isn't that weird to think about? Like you don't hear about these things anymore, so you just kind of assume it definitely doesn't exist. Apparently LimeWire is now a content creation hub. Okay. They are considering integrating XRP as a payment method for their token sale, and it's called LimeWire token. If you plan on acquiring LimeWire token, please understand that not only are there a tremendous amount of inherent risks, but B, the SEC is going to probably jump directly down their throats. If you have a vivid imagination, if you've ever watched a cartoon, you've imagined what I just said. I saw nothing nowhere. Maybe that's just me not doing enough research about whether this was actually registered with the SEC, but understand that if anyone in the US has bought this token, the SEC is going to be coming after them. So that's just one thing. Two is that we've seen a number of other companies before who no one uses. I don't know how many people are currently using their content creation hub. That's amazing. Wonderful. I'm so happy for you. But everyone else, if the platform isn't as widely used, a lot of times they create a coin or a token to try and get hype back into their project. I don't know if that's what's happening here, but alas, once again, pay attention. The major news story is is that people are allowed to, and I think, what was the other coin? Cardano is the other coin. You are able to use Cardano, and they're trying to get community support to be able to add XRP also as a payment method. Dig deep within yourself and ask yourself, are you willing to give up and or spend your Cardano on a token that you are probably going to get in trouble for having if you live within the United States? And or are you willing to give up your precious XRP that so many people love to buy a token that might not go anywhere? These are, of course, the gigantic risks of being and getting into the cryptocurrency space. But yeah, very popular news because it has the word XRP inside of it. So, of course, it's everywhere. Just understand that this is not the first company who you haven't heard from in like 95 years who is trying to get into the cryptocurrency space in some sort of way. If LimeWire worked before and their content creation hub is working now, why would you need a LimeWire token? I think the news should have actually been they're integrating Bitcoin. You can use Ethereum as a payment method. You can integrate now XRP onto this platform to pay content creators, or you can get paid in that coin as a content creator. Every time someone creates a new coin, it's just unnecessary. We don't need a coin for everything. The top 50 coins, and I use top 50 lightly, that we have right now could be used basically just about for everything. That would give us a good 28, 30 smart contract platforms that are quite robust. I think we'd be fine. That's the XRP can maybe soon potentially be used as a payment method on a LimeWire for their LimeWire token news. Yeah. Let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Jimmy Jim. That's a lot of Jims in there. American Crypto Academy, Martin Stoyer, Bodie McBoatface, Sam Ratter, Dotha Diddy, Manny Cryptos, Crypto Gambino, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Jamie Saad, and let's move on, Empire Queen, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, The Dealer's Den, Captain Summing in the Z-Way, Lay, Mo Barazi, VB Nerd 21, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Don't We All, Paternoster, Navarro Williams, Utopia 569, Moonman High XRP, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, at Bibliophobia, Adam Graysick, Wise 9 Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Setsuna, Paxis, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Yes to Crypto, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera Macho Nisa, and on Crypto with Lionel. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to everyone who has left a like or leaves a like every single day. Thank you all for watching. It helps out with the algorithm. Thank you all for writing a comment. That also helps with the algorithm. You don't understand. I said this before. It helps so much, the algorithm, when people actually do these things, because that's what YouTube actually cares about. It's engagement in the actual video. It lets them know that they should be showing it to other people. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at $28,090. It is down by 1.53 percentile points. Ethereum is up by 1.23%. See, I told you it wasn't as crazy as everyone was making it out to be. The lower volume altcoins, however, have taken a little hit. Once again, these could be 35% drops, but they're not. So most coins are down between 5 or something other percent. Binance Coin is down by 4. XRP is down by 5. ADA is down by 5. Dogecoin is down by 5. Solana is only down by 3. I don't know how they're doing it. Matic is down by 4. Litecoin's down by 7. Shiba Inu's down by 10. Anything else like crazy? Internet Computer is down by 13. Geez, that's a huge number. Filecoin is down by 9. Aptos is down by 14. Lido is down by 14. Yeah, you get it. A lot of the market is currently. And Pepe Coin is up by 118% after having fallen, because the universe just does not make any sense at all to any of us. I do hope that you've all enjoyed Hope you all had a great weekend. I hope it was fun. I hope you did stuff. Hope you got out of the house. Hope you moved those legs a little and got some fresh air. And I mean, relatively fresh air. We know the world is garbage now, but you understand what I'm saying. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.